and so many things we don't contribute to this country in firmness for the rule of law and democracy are things we can always ascribe to him. I fondly call him Granddad. I am very, very close to him. That's a very good relationship. So certainly by God in power, maybe I will be in the well of Parliament to give him his befitting funeral. And so as a party, we just believe, say, this country belongs to we all. It's immaterial whether you're SLPP or APC. What comes first is Sierra Leone. And when we start to see ourselves as that, then we'll begin to see the Sierra Leone we want. We will not deny that the SLPP is not doing something relatively better. But for we, holistically, we'll say the things the SLPP they do are still baby steps. Sierra Leone don't grow beyond baby steps approach. We need giant steps now. We're not, as Sierra Leoneans, no longer ready for settle for less. When you listen to Big Brother analogy, they say at least they don't construct 6 bridges. And for the first time, Salon longer it's iron ore factory. They say at least when you go by Songo, they say at least we produce this plywood and also. These are still baby steps. We they try for say these steps had they been taken 8 years or 7 years down the line, I think say for to celebrate other giant steps at this moment. But it's often said or not that it's better late than never. Would they say though they have failed abysmally, though their performance is beyond is below the expectation of Sierra Leoneans, though they don't prove to indeed the level of incompetence they don't show to the highest of even reasoning. In as much as that is the case, we equally acknowledge the insignificant steps that they don't take, though they are not basically commendable compared to within expectation of Sierra Leoneans. Where remember some years back in 2014, 15, 16 during the Ebola time, the likes of Musa Tambasam, the likes of JJ Safa and others, they're all across this country say APC don't eat Ebola money, people in the cries, hungry they at in peak, this and that, so forth and so on. To the extent that JJ Safa, former minister, say in 6 months, and they turn this country around, they come in to settle the bread and butter issue of Sierra Leoneans. I will tell you realistically, there you see the president, they tell you say they go thief rest in a lodge. You know what that means? It's telling you that hunger is at its peak. You look at the International Hunger Index, Sierra Leone is rated amongst the most hungriest countries in the world. So that is beginning to tell you that what exactly SLPP is saying. Why are we not for a second sitting down to accept that we have not performed? We've performed below the expectation of Sierra Leone. It is deliberate when the president tells us say, or tell we say, this year is going to be a year of action. You know what they try to tell you? Indirectly it's telling you, I have not done anything. I don't want this remaining 2 years so that people will not point at tangibles. At least out of 10 years, what I go say that this and this I will do. But the question is, that go to where you know Sante. It's not just possible. Let us be honest to ourselves.
So moving
8
forward,
good years, you know, able to do nothing. Now 2 years down the line, you're able to do something. You cannot. So all waiting in the system and go arrest 3 people in an NRA, this, that. But now you Benkefala, they say Benkefala. Now you pin teacher, then a cotton tree, it tag them. Say they not thief. From that time to now, thief reduce. In fact, now it go up. It's skyrocketed than any other time before. So these things are just, you see, when sincerity of purpose is lacking and the political will, deceit becomes the order of the day. Take this word. When sincerity of purpose is lacking within the political sphere or political will, you understand what I'm trying to say? The order of the day becomes chaotic.
so moving forward, you think say they see any tangible sign for show say there will be a change indeed, like way President will make mention of say this year will be action and more improvement.
It's going to be the new normal.
What's the new normal?
The new normal is how we. Let me give you this joke. I remember when we wrap up 2025, I was here, and you were here. The two of you again moderated me, and I said this to Sierra Leoneans. Since the intervention of the SLPP, this current Julius Maada Bio government, in 2017-2018, to the moment I am seated here, There had never been a time in Sierra Leone when people then say last year be better past this year. I'll challenge anybody. Look, my big brother now. This December we pass so. People when they tell you say this December, Allah make in kind of ever cancel again. Now the worst this ever in the history of Sierra Leone. And when we'll be there again in 2024, people they touch their hand and they cry. And let me give you this. To a very large extent of some of the dead cops they would the cops they would take now the streets of Freetown. They already don't cloud them around and say, the people in Kush they kill them. But to be honest, in as much as Kush is equally a contributing factor, but even these Kush addicts on them, they die back of hungry. Take that from me.
So lawyer AKK, this 4.8 GPA where the president don't talk about growth. So you believe say there is a disconnect to it compared to
the reality on ground.
Waiting then at the reality. How you go substantiate
there's a total disconnect. Now, sometimes ago I was with Imran Silla on an online program, and it's a relatively Sierra Leone they push forward in regards to our consumption of our locally produced goods or food, i.e. is a point at the barabara rice, the this that and so forth, locally produced eggs, this how do you call it, this fish farming and so forth and so on. Now ask her. And when I ask her this question, I ask and say, Pa, if you say we do very well with regards to agriculture and to the extent that we locally produce rice, don't cost down seriously in the importation of rice, to the extent that, to some extent, we locally produce food, and some way they use even in the school feeding project. But show me one store. We start to go now, we start as a grab here, and I report again to prove. We are grab here, I get money in my wallet. Show me one store, we start to go buy a restaurant as a local producer. Just one place. And go buy and now allow know again how much that it costs to buy. Then aside that, locally produced eggs. Let me you to go on Abacha Street or Ekowa Street. Show me the differences between the imported eggs and the locally produced eggs and how much then they sell each. Then we know. I continue from the same position. Now let we go to this fish farming. Go na market. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? Me and the director of Maritime, we say that they can't get what you call the closed shore, where they can lock the water for 1 month for make them allow it then call. It's about to be crying. They say do you have people are not begin to sell fish at a skyrocketed price because next month February is going to be the month of Ramadan. So then they play to people, you know what they are telling you that in as much as we go into this particular all important activity for clothes we seize for make we get new breed of fish not therefore they insufficient. So we sign at the fish farming we will then embark on. If I don't tell we say we get so we are not going to lack fish. We are going to have this. When the time was say maybe we are not use the fish now we don't put in a store, na Sapco, na this, so that they will go buy one carton and can sell them for make exorbitant profit. You understand this reality? We are beginning to face a situation where the people are beginning to ask, say, why are our politicians not being honest with us for once? Just accept, say, indeed, I have failed. And then I am ready to accept criticisms, positive criticisms. But however, in the midst of these criticisms coming, I am ready to make sure that I improve on some of these things. This was what we were expecting from the president's speech. But now listen to what the president did. If you take your time, you read IMF report and World Bank report, you realize that the president in speech was directly a response to the IMF and World Bank report. Some of me, I know they can't sit down here. You see me file where I put on so. That's serious. I know they can't sit down for talk because I feel like talking. For me, I don't see us when we sit here as APC or SLPP. What I see is one, mutual respect. Two, that all of us must put Sierra Leone above.
So why is it a response to the IMF?
Because the IMF challenged certain areas of this government in abysmal performance. It challenged and said, these are areas you have not done anything infinitesimally, nothing absolutely to write home about. And so the president, our speechwriter, succinctly said for saying, you know what, irrespective of all these red flags, we're now going to make 2023 be a year of action. But a year of action, you don't need 8 years, you don't do nothing. Now, this year, we don't begin so election year. And I make you listen to the president say, this year, political parties are going to be fully engaged in politicking. So you're beginning to tell you now, the election calendar don't begin. APC, they get a flag bearer this year. And if not this year, SLPP, early next year, they get their own flag bearer. So tell me what is going to happen in 2026, 2027, basically. 2027 is going to be campaign year. 2028 will be revolt. So from 2018 till now, you don't do nothing. Ebo, now 2026, we're almost January, don't know. We can't start February.
All right.
Now they say they can't
all right.
do something.
Muniru, 4.8 increase in the GPA growth 2026. You feel say your government or the president will able to attain this for the layman when you consider what's it's and the reality of ground? People they cry for food. There is a whole lot of economic breakdown. Makituman then they cry say inflections still they at the hem of
Watakiwan kill them.
A lot of things they go on. So you as somebody we probably go talk on the side of the government, do you think that 4.8 increase in GPA they really calm down or tailor down to the ordinary people on the ground?
They rightly tailor down. Like what you always say, somebody will not do a bit of economics or accounting, not go know how them figure they need to play. Like my brother they rightly say Wataki want kill them. We don't do shipment, me we dey na Wataki, we na dey me constituency day. One thing I rightly say, the cost of your container is depending on the value of your container. Because when they collect the mathematics, now based on weighting you ship, the cost we did in the freight, they determine the cost of clearing. That one is the simple mathematics. Like what I say, you know go carry it something way cheaper than go charge you for a higher. Now make we go into call goods of ostentation in economics. If you need DSTV, just know how much you dey subscribe for in a month, and that person way just they connect to SLBC or AYV where all you need now that in bulb area where they put for an ado and not get any subscription for this. So these are the two lines. But I'm now down to waiting the president makes clear in his speech. Me brother AKK they try for draw the line, and the president was certain and very focused where he do the analysis. He say from day one where he campaign for coming power, he say one thing where Sierra Leone they push on now what we call cosmetic. The development the way they do na cosmetic development them. So he as a president where he come he go for change. And I make if you hear what he say na in paragraph na ya, he make him very clear say waiting. He say we dey move from them value them or fixing them. He say we avoid quick fix that brings short-term relief but create deeper problems later. So he don't tell you say waiting I be say I still they believe say we for deviate from them and begin for look at tangible. Now I make like what I say, we don't move away from whatever thing way they hinder the people, and for say if we depend so much on imported rice, let's see how we bring in our own local rice for cushion the fact. My brother make mention of World Bank report, IMF report. These are reports I have read, and one thing where I can always say, I raised up similar issue at the sister radio where appear. The analysis the way they do now make as somebody who critically they think. If you look at the analysis, they make and clearly say these analyses are based on data collected way back 2017, because the current data are not available following the fact that we've been struck by COVID and other world challenges. We don't make up till now we not get even a data where they inform the current situation of the country, and then draw a line say the current ongoing survey when the topographic survey where statistics Sierra Leone they do we go for where they run from 2024 to 2025 we done so. Once that data they are available now na the hands of international community, we go able to get an informed data where we believe and rely on. So if you look at them irony then they will do some literature, you see say we are not being judged fairly. Now like waiting AKK they say nobody no go say.
But if you have done the right thing, if you have actually done the right thing as a government, do you think people will just lie on you when you say you have not been judged fairly?
Yeah, they judging fairly.
Like judgment they don't put
like what they say from their own copies where they present to people and for read, they tell you say the data where they inform them current information where they give now 2017 2018 data, because they not able to build any new data following the COVID effect where don't make them able to get data where they rely on.
So is the data in existence? Is the data in existence? Is it workable for where they're not able to put her in?
When a data they tell you, now make them make mention say then go really judge Sierra Leone in present situation, when the 2024-2025 information with statistics they produce now they go judge who side they now they go capture the feed salon way we launch after the 2023 election. Then go able get a better rundown of how we dey feed we pikin in a school where the free quality education they capture. Now make the president make in paragraph 14 he say waiting. All this depend on waiting we behavior as citizens, because as citizens he say waiting, you when a public servant you go for work well as a public servant, you when a businessman you dey operate, we dey see people them they go for what we call aid to aid profit. That is like in Islam they no permit am. You go buy something at 1,000, you want sell at 4,000. It's absurd. But Ekeke go attest say fear wey be dey buy 30,000 in fact don't drop down to 25,000. These are facts. Like what they say, reality and projection not to two things the way they go equally. The reality is always plain and factual.
Muniru, before me colleague come in, the president, you don't talk about feed salon. We just left the economy side small, but my colleague go touch there. You just mentioned feed salon.
Yes.
Now, feed salon, the president said we'd expect 35,000 hectares of rice, right?
Yeah.
And then 13 new rice mill. Before I come to my question, how many rice mill do they boast of right now?
Right now, at 3.
3. Then
Yes.
say we'd expect
13 more, because like what they say.
So how is this really drilling down from waiting it don't say this 2026? AKK just said 2026 get for be a year of electioneering. Because right now they try forget the flag bearer, and 2027 a campaign. So how do you think this 35,000 hectares of rice and 13 new rice mill they come into play?
Fine. Let's lay this line of politics. We get parties and politics, we get governance. The governance system is the responsibility of retired but not retired Brigadier Julius Maada together with his ministers. SLPP they run the party system. Now make inside SLPP we get to a party leader when are the chairman.
But do you also
I want to lay the line.
No, do you also believe that those who call themselves party or who are in governance, let me don't use the word, those who are in governance are also craving for this same party leadership? So how are they going to work to achieve this 35,000 hectares and then 13 new rice?
And that makes it easier because they are part of governance and also parties and people. They will want to make effective the statement of the president. How? You go and see, for instance, somebody vying for presidency go make big farm because you want to use that farm there as a political tool. You go and see, for instance, somebody wanting to become an APC flag bearer go na in village go make an activity where that activity they go boil down to the survival of the people. These are reality because you cannot differentiate the two. The reality here is you being member of the government and member of the political party, all these two things can equally go, and the higher person that benefit is that of what the citizens of the country. Like let me make this example. When David Francis when David Francis be the guy ambition for say I want to president, we go Blama, he be get the biggest farm there where they look at. You go to David Senge, we all see him where don't go process in cassava for make gari and other thing there. They're all they involved in this. So in that thing where they say, in fact, it's going to be more intensive now because they want to see how they go use the agricultural sector within the villages, the agricultural strata the way they foresee how they go replicate that as an interactive mode for able to bring calm the people to their attention the way they need. Because for instance, when you go to the village, you want farm, you go for call the people, and when you call them, you use that as an interactive means, and whilst you pay them for the agricultural work, you pass on your political message. So it's a two line in one that have to be existing. So if AKK they say 2026 is going to be political, of course that don't tell you say we president they ask for more time for lost time. It focus clearly for say.
You still not answer me question. How will they achieve this 13 new rice mill and 35,000 hectares of rice? I
don't just give you clear instance for say will they achieve the 35 hectares of land, because all those that will be eagerly waiting to become politicians are going to be active agricultural farmers, because they want to see how they could go to the villages regularly and they'll be using their agricultural proclamation that this is where I'm going, and through that they'll be engaging the people to see they could farm more. And we've done the stratas in the Ministry of Agriculture. Thomas Boom, AKK can testify, almost we've got the irrigational system completed now, and more farming will be expanded because we want to see how year in year out, not just in the rains, we will be farming even in the dries, because the irrigational system will be ensuring that there is enough water in the soil to maintain the agricultural sector. I did some agriculture, so I can explain that better as well, so that people understand. I attended the agricultural vocational secondary school at JSS level, so when I talk about the irrigational aspect, I know exactly what that talks about, and these are the effects that are going to replicate down to the people, because the people are waiting, they want to see a fact, not to presumption like we they talk on a law. Presumption are only rebuttal, and the rebuttal now that rest will be the 1,000 don't drop to 650 now, because we get an effect when they replicate on the cost, because if not, you know, the way to call market forces or market challenging economics, not, you know, will force down the rice price for come from Usai Bide to Usai Ide currently.
Okay, so waiting at the initiative or policies them as governments where una think say una will put particularly for ensure say these promises for make 2026 better. Yeah,
the first one, availability of cash. The president don't tell you say we will try for mobilize fund, we don't get them, and because we don't get fund, waiting go for happy, we get enough fund for make sure say the youth them come into agriculture, we able fund them for do. We get cash for work, we go for available. Now all we community banks them where they around the country, plenty other thing them. If you want to know how this thing go for take effect, one, like what I say, we've got the president proclamation where they show the willingness and readiness of him that this is my focus, and the proclamation go for be backed up by an action, and that action there is backed up by the decisions where already the Minister of Agriculture don't take, the funding we don't come in from support from donor partners. All these are the realities that we'll be using. The president cannot just come and sit on TV and say I'm adding or increasing the rice mill to 13 when he has not got the fund available for that. Once he proclaim that particular statement in, because he know say he don't get the money now, like way that they say blind man say one stone you, he don't mask the stone already. So if the president is making that proclamation, he don't tell you say the resources available, and all we're looking at now is implementation to see we get this to the past.
But we don't do beautiful speeches. Imagine before election we get presidential debate where a lot of promises then be make, but not to all of them be fulfilled, and talk sweet words them. Then we go to manifesto again for every other person we contest, we give sweet manifestos then. But some of them think the way they can put no achievable. So what exactly why we for pin, why we for see this one say it will be really tangible for we as Sierra Leonean, for the common person.
If you say the thing that they put not achievable, it's like you're not following up the developmental trajectory, because one thing where we like what I said, if you're following up the developmental trajectory, we go to call short term, medium term, and long term. And some development and they not so a short term development, now a long term development. So you go notice say you go start and now you know go even done now the next government where go be an SNPP led government again, now go finish them. So but if you look for instance the first manifesto we'll present for this the people of the country will call the new direction, look at the thing that we did. Normally now that can do will be the campaign for 2023, and they look at each strata waiting we promise and waiting we don't deliver, and the one that we will not deliver it, waiting at the cause will not deliver the length at which we got for take for deliver, then that nine the set up. So if you ask such a question now for tell you say these are the divisions that are meant in development. For instance, if we want to get a sustainable light, waiting with the do we try for fix up all the strata that way they make we get a sustainable light. From where we born, they tell we about Bumbuna. Up till now, nobody know able to put effective forces in Bumbuna. So we don't move from waiting from that of Bumbuna thought to what we call solar system installation. So now when you go to AKK village now, you see say you don't get light. You're gonna come be away for the years back, then be there in darkness. They don't get light because we make sure see every set, not to just Freetown our priority. We want to see the entire Sierra Leone under one umbrella, when at the palm tree umbrella, where everybody go team up and get shade where the sun hot, where you go to sweat too much.
All right, lawyer AKK, the feed salon. Now we'll come back to the feed salon. The president said 35,000 acres of rice in this year, and then 13 new rice mill. Now, the All People's Congress, they criticize this feed salon, call it rhetoric instead of harvest. If you are in governance, or if you in a governance now, as I talk, we they in a hurry to go to State House, what you could do different, where you go create or bring a change, better the life of Sierra Leoneans?
For we in the APC, we always believe the action past intention. this is the slogan of the APC. My big brother and I know that one. But the APC now we know must have run this country. They will don't run this country past them. What to make them they feel so and they feel so abysmal because they no one accept for make we land them. So as you don't just know, acknowledge the presidency, indeed Dr. Boubacar Jabi, not to only like me senior and in practice, and like a godfather in practice. You understand? You have to give flowers to those who their flowers are due. SFPP, as far as leadership in this country concerned, we don't lead salon past there, we don't do a state house past there, we sabi how for run this country past there. But no one can sit down so we land.